Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different. Well, let's just say a little more strict of a side lateral raise that I'm going to do today. Like usually every shoulder day, I start with a standing side lateral raise. It's just, in my opinion, it's one of the better shoulder exercises. Like I said, if you want those cat delts, you got to work on that mid delt, make your shoulders look wider. So a standing side lateral raise usually is one of your better. There's a few others, but it's one of the better exercises. But today, I'm gonna try to do it kneeling to, one, keep me more strict, and then two, since I'm gonna be more strict, it's gonna force me to not quite go so heavy. Um, and that's kind of what I want to go for today because, I mean, if anyone who watched yesterday's video knows this week's been kind of rough, and I do feel a little better today than I did yesterday, but still, I think my nervous system and just my muscles in general pretty worn down at the moment. So to kind of give me no option but to go lighter, I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do it kneeling, and I like to kind of keep my ass touching the heels of my feet the whole time. So like it's kind of a cue to tell me when I'm cheating or not, because as soon as my ass starts coming up off my heels, I know I'm cheating. So now, say like I'm doing 15 reps, um, as long as it's like 85 to 90% of the set is strict. So again, say I'm doing 15, so around like the first 12ish reps are strict. I don't mind getting those additional 2 or 3 last reps with some cheating and kind of throwing my body into it, just to keep the set going and make it more intense and make my shoulders work a little more. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm planning. I haven't like I've done this before, but it's been months and months and months since I've done it. So I really don't know what weight that I'm gonna work up to. So I did 15 minutes of cardio. I did some abs before I did this. So I'm warm, but I don't really know what weight to do. So I'm gonna kind of just progress up to the dumbbells. I'd imagine like around the 40s is probably the heaviest I'll go here. Like normally a standing one, when I can kind of swing into it a little more, I would do it the 60s. Yeah, I'm not gonna get close to that today. So let me kind of do a couple sets here and try to figure out what weight to use. Mm. All right, those are the 20s. Obviously pretty fucking light. So let me try the 30s. Oh wow, those surprisingly felt pretty difficult. But maybe I just didn't give myself enough time. Tell you what, I'm gonna try the first set with the 40s. If I can get at least 10 strict, and then cheat up maybe 3 or 4, that'll probably be a good weight to work with. But if I can't get at least 10 strict, then I might go down a little bit. But I'm gonna try the 40s for at least one, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, before I do this set, I want to say something about yesterday's. Well, not really just about yesterday's workout, but just how I've been kind of really lethargic and just worn down lately. Like yesterday, the first couple warm up sets and first two sets. Um, it felt pretty rough, but it's like once I got past that and I actually did some more and then I moved on to other things, like it actually turned out to be a really good workout yesterday. And then today I come in here feeling about the same, and I did my 15 minutes of bike or cardio on the stationary bike. I did about 350 different variation, but 350 reps of ab training. That was about almost 10 minutes extra there too. And once I got done with that, like I'm actually, I'll say I'm still a little kind of dragging my feet, but I feel a lot better than when I first walked through the doors. So like if you're ever at that point, like I would suggest if you don't already, just do some like 10 to 15 minutes of some form of cardio just to kind of get your blood moving and kind of wake you up a little bit, and then kind of go to that first exercise. You still want to warm up and kind of progress up in weight with whatever exercise you're doing. Like the cardio isn't a warm up for that, for those body parts that you're going to train. So like say you do 10 minutes of just running on the treadmill or whatever, and then you're going to train shoulders. You'll still want to kind of progress up in weight and warm up your shoulders too. But I just feel like when I do cardio first, most of the time, there's sometimes when it doesn't, but most of the time it kind of helps in just kind of waking me up and like getting my body just a little more prepared for generally what I'm going to do, lifting weights and everything. So it's something you can try. Not everything's going to work for everybody. So if it doesn't work for you, just throw it out and try something else. There's plenty of other things that kind of try to get your body just ready physically and mentally to train. I mean, if one easy first step is pre-workout. If you don't take pre-workout, that's one step that definitely works for a while. But I feel like after a while, that even that kind of wears off. So, like I said, there's different things you can try, but that's one thing I would suggest. And it doesn't. You don't want it to be super intense cardio. Kind of steady state cardio. Your heart rate around, I don't know, 140, 150 beats per minute. Um, I feel like that's a good range, but to each their own. That's just something I felt like I wanted to suggest. So, anyways, now that I can't feel my legs, let's try the first set. Oh, I think that was more than 15. If it was, I might go up to the 45s and try some sets there. Cool. As usual, though, I didn't keep count, so I'll go back and count. And if that was more than 15, I'm gonna go up to 45s. Okay, so since I've went up 5 pounds in each arm, the goal is, well, let me say I counted my last set and I did 17. So going up 5 pounds, the goal is to bring that down around 14 or 15. Um, and then I'll probably do 4 sets here. So I'll do 2 more after that. And I'd imagine each set there, I'd lose another rep or two. So by the fourth set, hopefully I'm only doing like 10 to 12. We'll see. I could surprise myself, but I think that's kind of how it's going to play out. So let's try it. Okay, that was pretty much how I was thinking to play out. I did 15. Last couple were kind of, cheating. That's pretty good. I think, just like I said, I'll do two more. Ah, all right, difficulty level on that was definitely ramped up. Whew. One more. All right, let's do a drop set. That was fucking good. Now I'm really awake and ready. It's funny how that works, huh? You do a nice tough set with a followed by a really tough drop set. Usually it'll wake you the fuck up. Whew. That's good for the first exercise for shoulders. That is good. Let's move on to the probably back. Yeah. All right. It's funny because Tuesday I did this variation of this exercise for the first time here. It's pretty much the same as a chest supported T-bar row where you kind of lean forward. We don't have one of those here though, so I kind of had to makeshift it myself. And I did it Tuesday. Loved it, dude. It felt so good on my lats and back. Um, the setup's kind of a pain in the ass, but it honestly worked so good that it was worth it. Well, at the end of the workout, I said, that felt really good. I might do it 3 or 4 times a month, and I train back twice a week. So, that's pretty much one back exercise a week. I was gonna plan on doing it, and then I slept on it. The next day, I woke up and I said, you know what? I might do it 5 or 6 times a month. Well, now that I've had some more days to kind of let it settle, I might do this every day on my back days for the foreseeable future until it feels like it's kind of getting stale and I need to do something else. That's how good it worked. So I don't mind setting this up. I mean, it took an extra maybe 5 minutes, probably not even that. So it's really not that bad unless you're just that lazy. And I'm not. The gains are more important than that. So I don't mind doing this. But probably do 4 sets here. So Mm, 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 mm. Okay, this is the same weight that I did last Tuesday, but since I'm kind of a little more comfortable with what I'm doing and I know what to expect, it was a little easier. So I'm gonna add maybe a couple more fives, and we'll do it again. Round two. Let's get it. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Uh, uh, Shit. My lights are on fire. One more. I'll say though, before I do this next one, like, well, like with everything, the first like 90% of the set, I'm trying to stay pretty strict and don't let momentum do that much in helping me, you know? Like, I don't want to stretch and then bounce it up. Just like you would at a bench press, you know, people just kind of dive bomb it and bounce it off their chest, and that performs like 20 or 25% of the rep. I don't want to do that. So the first like 90% of the set, as long as I can get it pretty strict, good control, and then like always throw in an additional 2, 3, 4, however many reps I can, kind of cheating and starting to use momentum to help me just to keep the set going, and just try to increase the intensity, you know, by keeping the set going as much as I can. So that's kind of my line of thinking here. But yeah, let's do one more. I might even throw in a drop set here too. I might. Mm, 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 ugh, mm, 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 mm. Oh man. Mm, mm. Oh my god, that is it. Let's move on. Whew. Okay, the level of burn in my lats right now is pretty freaking crazy. I'm thinking it's because I did that exercise, which was new for me for the first time Tuesday, and it's Friday. So I've had 2 or 3 days rest, but then I did it again And again, it's still kind of new. I've only the second time I've ever done it, and I think my lats are just feeling the effects in a great way. They're kind of burning and sore already, but that's crazy, dude. That's crazy, and I think it's because like like I said, we have a couple chest supported rows here. One actually right in front of my camera, and then another one directly across from it. But the angles are the same. You're sitting at a 90, chest supported, and you're rowing it. Well, on this, obviously, it's a chest supported row, but I'm kind of leaning forward more, and I'm kind of coming out in front of my head more rather than straight down or at a 90 like these other two. So it's still a chest supported row, but it's just a different angle. And sometimes that's all you need. You just need to change the angle a little bit on an exercise, and you'll completely hit a totally different area most of the time. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that in my arsenal for a while. So every back day, as long as I don't forget, expect that exercise to be in there. I mean, it feels fucking great. So, but anyways, on the decline, I actually went 10 pounds heavier here. So you guys know I've been doing 325 or 3 sets of however many I can get. Um, Last week I hit a PR with it, 13 reps. So I figured now is as good a time as any to go up 5 pounds. So now I got 335 on there and see what I can do with it. First set, hopefully get about 10 or 11, maybe 12. We'll see. And then just go from there. So let's get it. That actually moved a little slow. That's fine though. I still did 11. Oh, that's fine. Let's do two more. And guess what? Yeah, probably a fucking drop set too. Um, and then I'll probably do one more shoulder. I honestly might not do any more back today. That's how much my lats were burning from that. I don't think I will. If I do, it'll be something quick and like still I'll make it intense, but just not crazy heavy or anything. But yeah, let's do a couple more here first. I don't want to get carried away here and get ahead of myself. So a couple more here. That's how you fail a decline bench press without killing yourself. Whew. This is a good example of what not to do. Honestly, this is the first time I've failed a rep that I was really sure I was going to get. First time in a long time. So even an advanced, experienced lifter you can still make mistakes. So lesson learned. I should have a spotter when I'm going to At least when I'm gonna go for a rep like that, that's pretty tough. Whew. Luckily, I was strong enough to crunch it up. Um, wow. Let me get it back up there. I'm gonna do it again, but you guys probably won't see me get that close to failure. But I'll make up for it with a drop set, so it'll be fine. All right, that is it for decline. Let's move on to some more shoulders. All right, we're gonna stick to the theme of strict exercises. This is gonna be chest supported dumbbell fly. Now, depending on which angle you go at whenever you do this, if you kind of come, if you're leaning and you come more out and in front of you, you're gonna hit a lot more front delts. And then if you come straight to the side, more mid delts than anything else. I'm gonna try to come to the side and even back a little bit. So it's gonna hit the mid delts along with the rear delts and probably even a little bit of trap as well. That's gonna be my main focus here. I've already done 4 good sets with a drop set. Hitting the mid delts, that's enough. It's kind of like your chest. Yeah, a lot of people with a normal chest workout, they'll do 3 or 4 or 5 sets of lower, 3 or 4 mid, 3 or 4 of upper. They kind of split it up like that. I'm kind of approaching my shoulders the same way. So I've already hit the mid delts. This is going to hit, honestly, it's still going to hit quite a bit of mid delts, but I'm hoping to get some rear in there as well. So, I mean, I guess I need the dumbbells to actually do this, right? I can't just use my arms. Although it'd be cool if my arms are so big and heavy that that's all I needed to do these. Not the case, though. I'm thinking 35s. I'm going to go to 35s and we'll try it. Okay. Okay, I probably could have done at least 3, maybe even 4 more there. But I'm thinking I'm gonna speed the rest up a little bit. So I'll rest just like a minute, go again. So you got to consider those things whenever you switch things up like that. Since I'm doing that, I stopped a couple reps short. Then also the amount of reps I did, I could go up to the 40s, but I'm just gonna speed the rest up to make it more challenging that way rather than go up and wait. So So you guys seen, sometimes I'll go up if it's easy. Other times I'll do like I'm about to do now, just go faster. There's different ways to make an exercise harder if it's too light, rather than just add weight. There's other ways to do it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't sometimes, but I like to mix it up. So you know what? I don't know if it's been quite a minute. Let's just go again though. Ooh. Ooh, come on. Okay. Let's do two more like that. All right, see, I barely got 16 there. So it goes to show right there what just speeding your rest up a little bit can do. The first one, I think I got a little over 20, and I'm already down to 16. The next set, I might only get 14 or 15. So it's a great way to just make it more challenging without increasing weight. Just because you can increase weight as a solution doesn't mean it's always the best solution. I mean, it is a good one. Again, don't get me wrong. You obviously want to progressive overload, but sometimes if you're just feeling worn out like I am and a little down, this is another way to make it intense without taxing your nervous system as much with such heavy weight. So, or heavier weight than what you normally do. All right, let's do one more. All right, that's it for shoulders. Let's move on to some more lower chest. All right, I was gonna do deficit push-ups again, but I thought I've kind of been doing those a lot for a reason. I love them, but I don't want to kind of get burnt out on them, at least too quick. So I figured today, it's been a while since I've done dips, so why not hop in the dip machine, lean forward more, make it more of a lower chest movement, and that might be it for today, guys. That might be it. So probably 3 sets, and yeah, you guessed it, another drop set. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done these, so let me kind of get comfortable again. All right, same thing here. I'm gonna go a little faster. The weight's kind of easy, so. Fuck. That's it. We're done. Okay, so I actually followed through and stuck to what I said whenever I said today I might only do just one back exercise. And I was very tempted after doing those chest dips to just throw in like 2 or 3 sets of lat pull downs. But I was like, you know what? I'm really exhausted and tired. And on top of that, the one back exercise I did was awesome. Like it worked great. Um, like that's the most I've felt my lats burn in a while. So, well, since Tuesday, but I did that for the first time Tuesday, so it was the same exercise. But considering all that, I was like, you know what? I'm actually not gonna. Well, let me say, I was very close. I was very close to just caving in and doing some lat pull downs, but I didn't. And hopefully, I'll come back next week and I'll feel a little more refreshed and just not so tired and exhausted. But while you're cutting, it's just how it goes. So I say that all the time, so I'm not gonna go into that too much, but that's just how it goes. Like I said, hopefully next week I'm a little better, at least in terms of my energy levels. All right, let's pose. Okay, I think we are done. I am indeed fucking ready for tomorrow's rest day. Whew. I think I said that last week too, but I mean, I've said already, past couple weeks have been pretty rough in terms of my energy. So just gotta suck it up though. Keep going, man. It can be very, I don't know, it can be very daunting sometimes because, and I've said this too, but you have your long-term goals, and that's usually what keeps you motivated. But then also, on the other hand, it can kind of overwhelm people and be too much if their long-term goal is pretty lofty. So that's why I say also, like, use that long-term goal as motivation. But generally, most of the time, you just got to keep one foot in front of the other. I know it's pretty basic shit that I'm saying here, but again, people can get caught up in that big lofty goal and then get discouraged whenever it takes longer than they think it should, even though usually that's how it works. You know, when you're going for a long-term goal, it takes some time. You know what I mean? So that's why I say just keep one foot from the other. Every now and then, if you need that motivation, think about what you're trying to achieve and what you could achieve long term, just for motivation. Then reel it back into, all right, what do I got to do step by step to get there, and just keep that one foot in front of the other. And that should, again, it's kind of basic advice, but it's sound advice. You know, it should keep you kind of in check and keep you going. But yeah, I'm gonna go do my other half cardio. Get out of here. Tomorrow, like I said, rest day. Be back Sunday for some legs. That's it for this week.